And we're back with Legends of Lake Howell. This month, our guest is none other than Miss Vicky Lampe. Miss Lampe, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So, Miss Lampe, what are you doing now?
I am at the district office and I work in the ePathways department. I am supporting career and technical education for our students and basically connecting students with their different pathways and different opportunities that they have when they graduate from our schools.
So, what are some of the projects that you work on with ePathways?
Currently, right now, I am working on opening up the Fire Academy at Winter Springs High School and also starting an agriculture program at Oviedo High School.
Any projects on the horizon for Lake Howell High School?
Well, the Cyberhawk Academy is a big one, so I'm hoping to have a part in that as well, just because Lake Howell means so much to me.
Now, prior to working at the district office, you were also here in Lake Howell. What did you do at Lake Howell?
I did everything here. I was a student here, and I coached volleyball while I was in college at UCF. And then I was hired as a parapro here in the Media Center, and I helped with testing. The next school year, I was hired as a reading teacher and an entrepreneurship teacher. I taught a little SAT prep, some digital design, and then I became a school administration manager. I worked in the discipline office, and then I was an assistant principal.
Wow, you did quite
Everything
a bit.
but your job. Yeah.
Everything but my job. So I understand that you also have another passion outside of the work that you're doing with Seminole County Schools, and that's the Tyler Lambert Foundation. So tell us a little bit about the Tyler Lambert Foundation.
Sure. So the Tyler Lambert Foundation, I started it in honor of my late husband, Tyler Lambert, also a student and alumni of Lake Howell High School and former employee and coach as well. A lot of things in common there. He lost his fight to cancer about 4 years ago. So I wanted to turn my grief into an impact and continue his legacy because although his life was over, his legacy and his impact did not have to be. So that's the goal. So his best friends and my best friends as well, we started the Tyler Lambert Foundation. And what we do is twofold. We help people in our community. So when we hear of families that are impacted by cancer, whether they're recently diagnosed or they're a child, they're an adult, whatever the case may be, we step in and help. We send gift cards, moral support, emotional support, things like that. And then we also raise money to go to the Advent Health Foundation to directly support blood cancer research.
So so you mentioned that you support a number of people. Is there a certain type of cancer or just anyone that can have?
Anyone. It's all bad. It all impacts families, and everyone we know, unfortunately, has been impacted by cancer. So we just want to help and we want to do the right thing. We want to serve others. In addition to that side of things, we also have student scholarships. So the past 2 years, we've awarded two scholarships per year to Seminole County Public School students, student athletes. And this year we're offering 4 scholarships. So we'll be announcing our winners this week, actually.
So what's the process? How do you select students for the scholarship? Do they apply for it?
They can apply on our website. We have some qualifications and things that they'll have to fill out. They'll have to do a personal essay, get a recommendation from their coach. We want to see what kind of athlete they are and what athletics has done in their lives, since it's such a big part of my life and was of Tyler's as well. And then I have my board, I guess you could call it, and we have a selection process and we go through and we choose who we think is most deserving.
So running a foundation I'm sure is an inundating task. How did you start? And what I mean by that, the business side of it. I know a lot of times we have a lot of great ideas and we're passionate, but actually making that dream come to fruition. Talk about that process. How did it even start?
Well, Tyler passed away, and shortly after, we're with all, friends and family, and we're like, how can we just continue things that Tyler loved and bring a good name to his, I don't know how to say it, just how can we continue his legacy and make a good impact in our community with all the things that he had started, we want to continue doing. So we said, let's do a golf tournament. Tyler really loved golf. He was great at golf. So let's do a golf tournament and raise some money, and kind of just started from there. And then we said, this was great. We had a great turnout. We raised, $17,000 from our first golf tournament that we were able to donate to Advent Health Foundation. And things kept rolling. So then we added on a few more events each year and decided we wanted to do a scholarship. So it just keeps getting bigger and better, and we keep adding more things and getting more participants and reaching more people. But as far as getting it started, it's challenging, and I know nothing about that. So Google was a great help. Use your resources, and we figure it out. And I guess the most challenging part is sustainability. How do I keep it going and keep growing and keep the interest and keep reaching more families to help them?
So how do you keep it growing? What are some of the things that you do? You try different things like every year, or what are some of the creative things that you do?
So we try to do something new each year. So we started with a golf tournament. Then the second year we added a bar crawl. And then the third year we added, we did a charter bus to Tampa Bay Rays game over, the old St. Pete field. And this year, I'm not sure what we're going to add yet, but we're going to add something this year. But we're trying to grow a little bit and reach different types of people who have different interests and things like that, and get them involved. Is there any activity that you like? Do you favor one more than the other in terms of the activities that you plan? I love the golf tournament. It's all my favorite people coming to one place again. It's family, it's friends, it's everyone who loved Tyler. It's just a kind of a reunion every year, but for a good cause. And I know that Tyler loved golf. He was real good at it, and so it just makes me feel close to him on that day. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. So you mentioned that Tyler was a student here at Lake Howell. So tell us a little bit about who Tyler Lambert was. So Tyler lived and breathed sports, all things sports, all sports, especially football, golf, and baseball. Those are his three things. He played football here at Lake Howell. And then after his high school career, he started coaching here at Lake Howell. Coach Oliver hired him to coach when he was 19 years old, and he was here for 11 seasons. And then he went over to Oviedo High School for the last 3 years, but he loved football, all things about his players, college players, NFL players. So if someone is interested in getting involved with your work, is there opportunities for them if they want to volunteer? For sure. We're always looking for people to help, whether it's helping at the golf tournament, passing out the breakfast or the raffle tickets or things like that. We're always looking for raffle items and things like that. Different events. We're always open for ideas of how to fundraise and just to be a part of the foundation, just to offer support or feedback or insight, or hey, I have this great idea, or I have this great connection with someone, I think this would be interesting. Things like that. We're open to everything. Okay, so now, Ms. Lampe, we're going to go to a different part where we talk about your time as a student here at Lake Howell High School. So the first question I ask, and I usually ask it to everyone I interview, is if you could describe your experience at Lake Howell High School in one word, what would that word be? And it can be more than one word, but just talk about your experience at Lake Howell. I think I would have to say home. I've been here more than half my life through my, being a student and then working here. So it feels like home. When I come back, I'm always greeted with a warm welcome, smiling faces. It's been very foundational for me as a student, as an employee, things like that. Even now coming back, always learning new things and appreciating my time here at Lake Howell. Did you participate in any extracurricular activities? I did. I played 4 years of volleyball. I was on the varsity team for 4 years, and I was the captain for 3 of those. So that was an exciting time, a highlight of my high school career. When I was a freshman, we were not very good. We didn't win many games, but by the time we made it to my senior year, we made it to the state Final Four. So that was exciting for us. Mentorship is important, especially during your formative years in high school. I hate to put you on the spot, but if you have a favorite teacher, a favorite coach, who had a big impact on who you are today? Coach Kruzak, Terry Kruzak. She was my coach. She actually was my coach at Tuscola Middle School and moved up to Lake Howell at the same time with my class. So had her for 7 years as a coach. Still to this day, we keep in touch. She taught me a lot of leadership skills. She basically told me that I was a leader and I didn't know it type of thing, and gave me a lot of opportunities to grow and to lead my team, gave me a lot of confidence, taught me grace, humility, all of the things that go along with athletics, and a good coach.
So, Miss Lampe, if you can go back in time and you talk about the all the things that you've done in high school, but we can start with, let's look at Vicky Lampe in ninth grade, or Vicky Hilbert at the time in ninth grade. Knowing all the experiences that you have now, what would you share with that ninth grader?
Slow down, enjoy the ride, and just trust that what's going to happen is going to turn out for the good. And I would also tell that ninth grade Vicky that you're going to meet your husband here.
How did you meet your husband here?
You know, Tyler and I never had any classes together. We just had a lot of mutual friends. I think we had lunch together. And then one day I got my AOL instant message from him, and it was history.
Kind of dated yourself a little bit.
Yeah, we went to the homecoming together in sophomore year, and yeah.
So last question that I have for Ms. Lampe is there any advice or anything that you would say to any of our Silverhawks out there, our students?
Appreciate what you have here. You know, the grass isn't always greener. Lake Howell is I always say it, a hidden gem here in Seminole County. There's a lot of great things, a lot of great people, a lot of great connections here that will follow you through. You know, I still keep in touch with a lot of my former students, and it's just going through all the things in life, they come back and you cross paths again. So it's important to have a good reputation and make a good name for yourself while you're here at Lake Howell, because it will carry you.
I think that's a good ending there. Ms. Lampe, thank you for joining
Welcome.
us.
Thank you for having me.